It's on!
And that's Baby Gideon, who you've seen and met before in real life. Oh, hi!
Host. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Disney Parks Talk Live for March 28th, 2022. This is the show in which we talk about Disney Parks Talk, and we do it live. My name is Doobie Mosley. I am the co-founder of Laughing Place, the co-host of this show, along with my wife, who is not here today. So, hi, Rebecca. I hope you're watching. I love you. I'll see you in a couple hours. The other people on this episode, up there, we have our vice president in charge of not going last this time. That is Jeremiah Jerk Good.
How's it going, Doughboy?
I'm like waiting for the applause or something. Over there, we have do you have a title with this, Tony?
VP of Animation Content, Senior Director of all Dollywood content, and Resident Gopher.
I'm pretty sure that your title does not involve the word senior or VP. I am quite certain of that. And then joining him today, right there, is his person. That would be Morgan, and she is just going to be with us for a tad bit today while we talk about something that the three of us don't know anything about. So let's jump right in with the week in Disney theme park news.
Material good.
With something that was just announced this morning. There are Coach items coming to Disney for the 50th anniversary, some vintage items that, I'm not educated in this arena, so to me they look good, but I'm going to go to our resident expert down there today, and that is Morgan. Morgan, are these attractive?
I think they are. I know Coach is relatively new to like the Disney Parks collaboration, but I think with this kind of retro line, they've stepped the game up a lot because it used to be just Eric with your cute little characters thrown in, but I love that they've pulled in the old logos. I think they've done a very good job with it.
Now, what struck me more than the purses, when I think Coach, of course, I think purses. Right?
Yes.
These headbands are beautiful. What do you think?
I think they're great. I'm a sucker for cute ears, I'll be honest. So I like that they've got all the little iconographies. And again, it's just different because with Coach, like you said, you think of bags, you think of wallets and just little accessories. So I like that they're doing that too.
And then they also have, what is this? What would you call this?
I'd call that like a weekender. So basically a smaller bag that you take like on a weekend trip.
Sounds like a Southwest flight deal.
Wait,
sure.
Is it smaller than a purse?
No, smaller than a suitcase. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
See,
so bigger than your
they're all the
average
same
purse.
size here. And I know this is a butt bag, and then a nice wallet. But there's something here. Are you the backpack is nice.
Was that a crossbody I saw also?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. And then looks like a sweatshirt here. A hoodie. Is Coach known for their hoodies? Because they have to have leather and everything, right?
Not necessarily. I know they do have a clothing line. It's not always as popular. I know like their sneakers are really big. I had a few pairs growing up and they were my favorite. I wore them to death. But yeah.
Oh, and speaking of sneakers, they also have slides, which I despise slides, but there they are.
Can I ask
like a playground slide?
In 1 second. So Morgan, out of everything we've shown here, I know I've recently learned, I mean, it's well known in the industry that you're a big fan of Dooney and Burke, but out of all of these things, which would you like to own the most?
I love the Mickey clip and the red wallet you actually have on screen right now.
Okay.
I think is really good because I like the wallet because then you can kind of switch them out. And then I think above it, there's the red bag. I think the red collection to say is my favorite. Just because that one's my favorite.
My favorite's the red headband, which would go perfectly with all of that. So awesome.
Perfect.
Jeremiah, you had something to say?
I had a different question, but now do we have prices on such items?
Well, they are available now for pre-purchase on Shop Disney. We would love for you to go through our site to purchase them because we get a little bit of a referral fee there.
I know that hoodie is $300.
So yeah, this leather headband right here is no longer on my shopping list now that I see the price. This is $295.
And now it's yellow, so it's no longer red.
Did I click the wrong one?
No, I think I clicked the right one.
I think I clicked this link up here instead of the one below it. So anyway, so they're Coach priced. If you need to ask, they're not for you, Jeremiah.
Craig T. Nelson's making a mint.
That's Tony, everybody. All right. So, Morgan, anything else you'd like to say about Coach before we allow you to go back to your life?
Not that I can think of. I'm just really excited if this show line, like, what else are they going to do? And I'm all for Coach clothing, so I can have more of that in my life, and that'd be fine.
Awesome. Cool. Well, Tony's excited to hear that too. Thank you very much, Morgan. And
Of course, thanks for having
we'll
me.
talk to you
Anytime you
later.
want to join us, Morgan, you are more than welcome.
Yeah, it's been fun to have you. I believe is this your first time on LP a live show?
Mm-hmm. It is.
Wow. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. I'm
Of
honored.
course, thanks for having me.
Rebecca's going to get upset.
right.
They've been trying to pull her to barely every now and then, too.
No, you can't say no now.
I know. Okay, I'll let y'all talk about it now that merchandise.
Awesome. All right. Thank you, Tony. Nice to have you on the show. All right. So what else we got going on so a lot of stuff just dropped today all of a sudden. Another thing that just came out today was apparently Hyperspace Mountain returning to Disneyland Resort. What?
Why? When?
Hasn't even officially been.
Say, Jeremiah?
It hasn't even officially been announced, actually. It just appeared on the Disneyland app, which is
Right.
Surprising. I'm guessing that we may see something come around 8 o'clock, usually when the Parks blog does stuff later in the day.
Yeah,
But I'm
sometimes
excited about it. Hyperspace Mountain's always a good addition to Space Mountain.
So it's returning. Space Mountain will be closed on April 28th for the changeover, and then it'll reopen on 29th as Hyperspace Mountain, which is in time for Star Wars Day, May the 4th. Have you experienced Hyperspace Mountain, Tony?
Yes. I have.
All right. Anything you'd like to say about it? I believe you might. No, you won't be there.
No. What's this?
Okay.
Thank God. If it is May 4th, good. But if it's before that, might get a little upset.
So you're not a fan of Hyperspace Mountain?
Nope.
Okay, fair enough. I've not done it. I've not done Space Mountain since it was Dick Dale. So I don't know any of this other newfangled stuff that y'all.
If you made the original Star Wars battle scene into a roller coaster, which they said, hey, let's not do in the first place. Let's do something unique with Star Tours. That's Hyperspace Mountain.
Tony Betty, everybody. Tony Betty, the most cynical.
And at what
person
point does
on
Disneyland
RT.
become Star Wars Land at this point, if they're bringing Hyperspace Mountain back?
Jeremiah, you like it?
I do. It's a fun addition. It's definitely good. It's a temporary thing. They make use of the design of the coaster, the screens. They started with the Ghost Galaxy that started in Hong Kong, and then they moved on to Hyperspace Mountain, which started.
That I liked. I loved Ghost Galaxy.
It started at Disneyland, then moved to Hong Kong. And the fun thing was, I didn't experience Hyperspace Mountain until I was in Hong Kong.
Wait, Jeremiah, you've been to Hong Kong?
I know, yes, I have. But it is much better than the Disneyland Paris version of their Space Mountain, because they did not have it designed that way. But like Tony did
that one's
say,
permanent now.
It is. You are flowing through the battle of over the Death Star, and there's some great visual effects on there. If you're a Star Wars fan, it's a fun thing to do. If you're an annual pass holder that gets sick of just going on Space Mountain over and over again, it's a new way to experience it.
So, having not been on Space Mountain for a while, do they still have Mario Lopez and the FedEx in the queue?
No.
It's been a while?
Sorry.
Okay. Back on the East Coast.
We'll know and Pulsar Weather on to become the stepmom and Parent Trap. So
these two gentlemen are both on the East Coast. So let's get to where they are located and talk about our next thing. This is, to me, is the best news to come out of Disney since a long time, since reopening maybe. Cultural representatives are coming back to Epcot in August, meaning as you go around World Showcase. I assume they're not adding them to the new neighborhoods in Future World, but as you go around World Showcase, they will. What you think maybe they'll have, like, what are the celebrations? Celebrate water, nature. They'll have someone from nature.
Well, they could have a representative from Xandar, but we'll get into that a little bit later on.
So if you go to each of the countries in Epcot, traditionally, the people that work there, almost everyone you encounter that works there almost, is actually someone from the country. So you can talk to them about what it's like to live there. If you speak the language, you can interact with them. It's really fun and educational. Really enjoy that. And that has not been going on since the reopening after the COVID closure, but they have announced that will be returning in August. So Jeremiah, as our head East Coast correspondent, what say you about this?
I'm looking forward to it. It has been very strange going into Norway and seeing, somebody that doesn't speak Scandinavian languages at all. One of the weird things, not weird, one of the interesting things is some of the cultural representatives that have been around for years actually live here permanently, and they still continue to work in the countries. Like I know in Mexico, I spoke with some of the cast members that have moved here and lived here permanently, but they came over originally on the special whatever thing it is that the visa. There we go. And then they just ended up marrying and moving here. So they've had cultural representatives, just not directly from the countries.
Right.
So getting those back, especially, I love in France. It's always fun to, interact with the people that actually tell us what the food tastes like originally.
So they were going to be starting with Epcot, the UK, France, Germany, Italy, and Norway, which starting with, that's almost everything. And then the rest will be added as travel restrictions ease. So yes, Tony.
I was going to say you're missing China, Japan. I think Morocco you didn't say. But I don't know if are Morocco coming back because they're not.
I thought that was just the restaurants that were affected.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I would hope so, but we shall see. One would hope. And all right, so that's to me, like I said, that's the most exciting news of the day, of the week, of the month, of the year, is the return of cultural representatives. And then the second one, for people like me who, maybe don't want to ride around as everybody else does, but like that special treatment. We've got the return of minivans being officially announced last week. So you may remember these vehicles riding all around the parks prior to COVID, and then COVID went away. COVID closed the parks. These went away. There was really a lot of talk that these were not returning. People had pictures of them and stacked 10 high and on garbage cans behind Magic Kingdom and stuff. But here we go.
I've seen one of next to a rocket rod. Phil.
Yeah, so exactly. Cool. There was an ET cartridge there. But then on TikTok, Disney has announced that they are returning. They're rolling back in. And I've only used minivans once, but they are so awesome. The drivers are so Disney. And the experience is just so wonderful that I can't imagine not using it in certain circumstances now. It's a wonderful part of a Disney experience. What do you guys think? Have you guys had minivan experience?
I've done the minivan a few times, and it is, the drivers are cast members. They're hired by Disney and licensed or sold out through Lyft is who's in charge of it. So it's a third party, but it's real cast members driving. So you get the Disney experience. And the nice thing is most of them are cast members have been around for a while. So they're fun to talk to. They're not quite bus drivers where we get to learn about the fifth park or anything happening, but they get to tell you stories.
Villain's Kingdom coming 2033.
Oh, I'm pretty sure it is. And so they haven't given us an exact date. We don't know if the pricing is going to be similar to what it was or changed. But for those that aren't familiar, what it is, it's basically an Uber or a Lyft, but it's run by Disney. So you're with Disney cast members in Disney vehicles, and they can take you from pretty much any place on property to any other place, as well as a few off-property places like the airport. They all use the very cute cars you just saw, nice air-conditioned comfort. And the best part is they can drop you off in places where you otherwise could not get dropped off. For example, if you're taking one tour from the Magic Kingdom, you can pick it up right over by where the buses go. Whereas if you take an Uber or a Lyft, you're going to have to be dropped off at the TTC and then make your way over to the main part of the park. So definitely some advantages to using them. And they're wonderful. Love the minivans. Hello, Andrea. What's up, Nathan?
Is it still going to be the flat rate for everywhere on property?
They have not said what it is at this point. Hi, son. That's my son. So we don't know.
Yeah, because if you were at Disney Springs and you would do it to Magic Kingdom, we'll say it was $25. If you did Disney Springs to Saratoga Springs, still $25.
Yeah, I mean, $25 is a lot more than you're going to pay for an Uber or a Lyft anyway. Probably you're paying for that Disney experience, for them coming to get you, and rather the actual ride is 5 minutes or 10 minutes. Didn't really factor in there. We'll see if it stays that way. All right, staying on the East Coast. How long has it been since the Walt Disney World Railroad closed? When did it last run? Do either of you know?
2019?
No, it's before that. I want to say it may have even been 17. That's a good thing. Let me look that up.
Okay. Well,
long before the global shutdown.
Yes,
So,
this is not something that happened with COVID. It may have been over now if it weren't for COVID because of the opening of the Tron coaster, which was delayed. But yes, it was shut down because of Tron construction, and it has remained down ever since. Let me see. Gio has something. They haven't really said. I think this is back on the minivan. How they're going to be used, either whether it's for internal or for airport transportation. That's true since the excuse me, since Magical Express is no longer around. But considering that it was for internal mostly before, and they said it's returning, if they restricted it to airport transportation, that would be extremely disappointing.
December 3rd, 2018 was the last time the train ran.
So it's been 3.5 years since the train has run at Disney World, Magic Kingdom. But there's some encouraging news, Jeremiah.
Yes, the Parks blog showed that the train is out running. I, lucky enough, am close enough to the park where I've actually seen the train out in the morning or in the evening when they're just kind of setting it up and getting it going. So it probably won't be really quick unless they do an alternate track, because Tron is still a bit of ways off, but they have finished part of the tunnel for that. I just actually saw some of it today. So, we'll be seeing it soon. Sadly, it's just going to be the same track, no additional dinosaurs or Grand Canyon, sadly, like I had hoped.
I remember.
I'm just hoping for a cool Tron super speed tunnel effect in that tunnel.
I remember during I believe it was when they were redoing the entrance to DCA, and they still wanted to run the monorail, so they actually had it run bi-directionally, where it would run to the hotel and then run backwards back to the station. Maybe they could do that with the train, just go between like Toontown and Main Street.
They have done that actually when it was Mickey's Birthday Land. They had it half and half.
Really?
So it'd go backwards. Yeah, no, and that was, I've heard that conversation happen a few times about this with the construction and bringing it back. But I know the last time I was over there, the Storybook Circus station doesn't have any track that leads even up to Tron. So it's still, where it comes on is far enough behind that so they could run it, but it would literally at this point just be Frontierland to Main Street and Main Street to Frontierland.
So correct me if I'm wrong, trains do require track to operate.
Yes, they do.
Okay, so that is good to know.
Unless they're the Animal Kingdom train, which is basically like a tractor, but it's still on a track.
See, you corrected me when I'm wrong. Thank you, Tony. So let's move over to Epcot, which
very real. That one is not.
Do you have experience in the Magic Kingdom?
On that train? Yes, I do.
Did you work trains?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't.
How do you think I know our CEO?
Did you drive them?
Mm-hmm.
You were
not really this motion. Yes.
Wait, time out.
Anything on Main Street pre-2010 was me.
You engineered a train and actually engineered it around the park?
Yep.
And I thought I liked you before, Tony. You are my superhero now. That's cool.
That's how I know our fearless CEO.
Does that take a lot of training?
Pun
fearless
intended.
Is writing when he's writing.
True. Or in the antique fire truck when he's driving. I've never seen somebody get into third gear on Main Street before, but moving on. It took about 3 days of training in terms of just understanding the steaming and heating process. Yes.
Not conductor, engineer.
I was a conductor
Tony.
too, but conductor and engineer.
Can we get one all aboard?
Not right now. Not on camera. Although I'm sure footage of it exists somewhere.
I'm sure you're on many cameras. Right?
Yep.
You prepare yourself. We're coming back to that later. All right.
Okay.
Jeremiah. Right. Jeremiah is our lead construction photographer, and Epcot is where all that stuff is happening. So I'm just going to bring up his last construction update. What do we got here, Jeremiah?
That's an excellent shot of the walkway. So the walkway that has existed since the park is reopened, that would lead around by the former Universe of Energy. They closed that off, finally put the wall back up. as Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind gets closer and closer, and they opened up the walkway that goes in front of the Connections Cafe and the Creation Shop. So these photos are from the monorail looking down at the almost finished ship. That's the entrance. On the right is the lightning lane, and on the left will be the standby, which will be a massive queue because it'll take up that almost that entire building of the former Universe of Energy. And that's the Play Pavilion, which we really hadn't heard anything about, but the map that they just put out with the updated information actually says future home of the Play Pavilion. So it's still coming.
That's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Hooray!
And Cosmic Rewind is on the map now, coming summer 2021.
And then there's the Play Pavilion.
Coming summer 2021? Does it say that?
Wait, that did... No, it did not. I must have read that wrong.
Okay.
Read that
Okay.
wrong. 2022.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah,
The
it's the
exclamation point.
point.
That threw me.
The same thing happened to me, Doobie, when I looked at it. I was like, wait, what? Yeah, so that's the maps. And then this is the walkway. Guest relations, or the former guest relations location, is closed right now. They moved it up to the front of the park as they work on, they took what was the Astuter computer review area and made that guest relations in the late 90s. So now they're finally going in and updating it, making it not just a former attraction with a bad area background or back room area. Now it's going to be.
What are they doing in the meantime for guest relations? Are they putting in screens where you could talk to guest relations people, kind of like how there used to be?
Yes, it's going, but you have to ride Spaceship Earth for that. So this is looking towards Spaceship Earth, a new walkway in front of the Connections Cafe, which
a narrow walkway. Right now.
That area is just beautiful. Like I know the wall's not going to go anywhere anytime soon, but that open area, we, even when it was Interventions, it didn't look that good.
How excited are you, Tony, for the Guardians ride?
I'm actually excited because according to the stats already revealed for it, I'm able to ride it. So
right.
It's something I
Tony
can do.
has restrictions on how intense his rides can be. So he's excited that he will be able to ride this attraction. And I'm excited for you. And look forward to riding it myself someday. And so we just showed you the Connections Cafe, and Disney released a little bit of information about that cafe. I know Jeremiah loves its history, so I'll let you do this one, Jerem.
So that's one of the original Epcot designs, and that is going to be on the wall of the Connection Cafe. And then today, Imagineer Zach Ridley on his Instagram revealed that
Zach Ridley on Instagram. No, go on.
that hand-drawn map that Walt originally did for the Project X, the Walt Disney World, what became Walt Disney World, is going to be on the floor. And they showed like the metal outline where they're going to put everything into it. It looks like just those two pieces alone, I'm pretty sure I will be able to sit in there for hours and look at it.
Yes, Tony.
If you lay down on the floor, will you be about 6 miles tall?
Yes.
Cool.
I don't even get that. Not
in the
one
film, bit. Walt goes, according to this map, I'm 6 miles tall.
Gotcha. Sorry, I knew I had this. You were talking about the flooring here.
Yeah, there it is.
So cool.
Yeah,
so
and then go on.
I was just gonna say, so a lot of people are complaining. You can see the original. They're complaining about how Epcot is adding a bunch of IP, which it certainly is. You can't argue that, but it is very cool how they are choosing their places to really honor Epcot's original history and legacy.
Can you bring up that first picture again, Doobie?
Yeah.
So this is, the version that we saw Walt standing next to that's going to be on the floor. And the two lines that intersect, that's actually the 4 and the 192, which is why Walt chose this area for Walt Disney World, because it was what was going to be known as the major intersection in Central Florida.
Jeremiah, you are Floridian now. It is 4 and 192. There is no the.
It will always, no, if I was Floridian, it'd be I-4. The only I-4 are the I-4 nomads.
the eyesore on the I-4. Do you guys both know the eyesore on the I-4, right? That
I found out
we just saw it the other day.
just yesterday. Michael Mack, our lead Marvel correspondent, from his new home, he can see the I-4 eyesore.
Oh, Mac, if you're out there, I want a picture of the eyesore from your home so I can triangulate exactly where you live now. But that's not the only reason why. So
I was there too, and I didn't
curious
see
to
it. I definitely got off at the exit for it, but
No,
I
when we
didn't
went
see it.
driving to get food, we could see it. And I was like, "Is that?" And
Oh,
he was,
okay.
Yep.
The eyesore on the I-4, look it up. I think it's even on Wikipedia. It's just this unfinished building. It's a really cool building, but they never finished it.
I've lived here 15 years, and in 15 years, and Morgan has said it was long before that when they last.
But what's there is really cool. So it looks like any day now they're going to be opening this really awesome office building.
Yeah.
So
I remember the first time I saw it, I was like, "Oh, what building is that? That looks awesome." No,
yeah, it really looks cool, and it just so it's not even fair to call it an eyesore because it's a cool looking building.
there's a meme that's circulating too where it's like dinosaurs, and it says Florida, the prehistoric era, and I saw in the background.
Construction began January. Who wants to guess which year it was?
1992.
2004.
You are closest, but you went over, Tony. So I'm
Okay.
sorry, you're out. January
When was it?
01.
So I moved to Florida, which seemed like ages ago in 2004, and that thing was already under construction. Probably had already got to this point. Here it is, the eyesore on the I-4. You can see it. There's the I-4.
Expected completion date fall 2022.
Wow.
I feel like that expected completion date changes every year.
Every single year.
It's like
Didn't expect me going there today. Didn't expect me going there today. All right. Back to the topic at hand. Treasures of Zanzibar. Xandar. I presume this has something to do with Guardians.
Yes. Are we on the road trip with King and Bob Hope right there? Going to Zanzibar? So Xandar is.
Isn't that the name of a gift shop somewhere?
Yes, in Morocco. It was a trivia question on the D23. Yes, the Treasures of Xandar is run by the collector, where if you've seen the original Guardians of the Galaxy show, he appears in it. That is who Star-Lord is trying to sell the orb to. So he was contracted by the people of Xandar to open the shop. So hopefully in there'll be lots of cool little Easter eggs. But other than the sign, we don't know. It is, of course, the store at the exit of the attraction. One thing
We know for absolute, if there are Easter eggs in there, we will find out soon from Zach Ridley on Instagram. Our man. Let's go to the West Coast. Normally we would bring in our associate Mike Celestino to talk about this, but he is off today. I think he is still recovering from his Galactic Star Cruiser. Right? Are you still recovering, Jeremiah, or would you say you're back? You're good now.
I'm good. The space sickness wore off after a few days. I know that Mike had to go to Washington, D.C. to get some additional shots post space travel, I believe. So we understand he is on the plane returning to California at this time.
Last week on this very show, we did a really long deep dive on the experience of Jeremiah and Mike on the Galactic Star Cruiser. So go check that out. We are all, except Tony, huge fans of the Galactic Star Cruiser. All right. So on the West Coast, anyway, Web Slingers, which is the Spider-Man attraction in Avengers Campus, where you go for like 3 minutes, has added a single rider line.
Swip.
Yes. Has added a single rider line. So if you're lonely and have no friends like me and you want to wait in a shorter line, you now have that option.
Shorter will be questioned.
Potentially shorter line.
Yes.
That's a good point.
I can definitely say that we're just the other day, when we were doing the walk and talk at Hollywood Studios, the single rider line for Rock and Roller Coaster was probably about as long as the standby line for Rock and Roller Coaster was.
So but potentially a shorter line.
How many
And
sit in the Spider-Man vehicle?
4.
Okay. Oh yeah. Anytime where it's like a 2 or 4, single rider's really not effective.
But I think we leave out the most important part of the single rider line. It's not just for people riding alone. It's also a chance for singles to get together and make friends with people who have things in common. So
AKA wanting to sling some webs.
Exactly. I know
whip.
I actually met Rebecca in a single rider line back in at Disneyland back in the day.
I think you guys met at Coke Corner.
We did. That was not a true
I
story.
was like, no, you didn't.
I don't even know if they had single rider lines back then. But I think that's Disney trying to compete with the dating services, the OkCupids and the eHarmonies of the world. They have the single rider line.
What year did you guys meet at Coke Corner?
We met in 1996. I'm sorry.
You predate the single rider line by about 2 years because Rocket Rods was the first real single rider line.
And that's a place that could use them for sure. Yeah, Gideon said it's like Toy Story 4.
Toy
in each
Story.
row.
It's like Toy Story.
Oh, it's like Toy Story.
I was right there with you when I first saw it. I'm like, Toy Story 4? And what? Proper punctuation.
The rock and roller. He did it properly. It was me. The rock and roller coaster single rider line is a joke. I've never had any good luck in that line. Test track though, and Falcon it works well, and no, doesn't work well as a swingers. I hope you mean slingers. I'm gonna keep going now. See, Scott gets it.
Web swingers.
It's a singles rider line. I feel like maybe we could. There's some kind of app we could work on that people in a single rider line could use our app and get to know each other while they're waiting in line. What do you guys think?
Almost like we know somebody who could program such things.
Doobie, I know somebody who is very wealthy off of those types of apps. So you do it. We're all going to Japan.
I like it. All right. Gideon, can you write that down for me, please? I want to create a dating app for people in Disneyland single rider lines.
Right. I just picture Gideon whip out a notepad and just got it, Dad.
If he's smart, he'll probably just Discord it to me and say, "I told you."
Gideon's already programming it. I got this, Dad.
Got a prototype ready.
And we can just steal. We're stealing Scott's thing. It's going to be called Singles Rider.
Singles Rider, yeah, exactly. The nice thing about it is Gideon does it. I still own him, so it's mine.
Legally till he's 18.
Gideon is Doobie's son, for anybody who doesn't know what that meant.
I did say that earlier. You can see the family resemblance. This is my 13-year-old son. Yes.
Nope, he's not 13.
Yes, he is.
9 at the most. 9.
They grow, Jeremiah. I hate to tell you this. I don't know if you've seen Pixar's latest movie, but they do grow up. All right, so let's get back to the next thing at Disneyland Resort. And this is only 3 days away. I really hope Rebecca's not watching. The extravaganza beginning Pixar. Extravaganza beginning April 31st at Disneyland Resort. Your chance to go on a little egg hunt, which is such a cute, adorable little thing.
Look at those eggs, though. I mean, they've done some rare characters. This is probably that entire lineup. I would pay to get every single one of those eggs.
So, Tony, being our animation expert here, who are these characters?
Okay. Well, that one looks like Patch, the one of the 15 Dalmatian puppies belonging to Pongo and Perdita. The legendary genie from Aladdin, the animated version, not the live action one, starring. That's all I'll say. And then Marie from the Aristocats. And Toby from Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Robin Hood from the movie of the same name. And the mysterious Cheshire Cat from Alice in Wonderland.
Thank you for making that.
Alice in Wonderland.
Entertaining, Tony. Appreciate it very much. But we could have done without the you know what. So $10 to buy a game board and stickers. You go around, you see the eggs, you put the sticker where you found them, you go back to a location, and they give you a prize. They do this every year. They do it in Florida as well for their festivals. It's just a cute little thing.
I'm still waiting for the Epcot announcement so we can start planning that walk and talk.
I know, Doughboy and the Jerk hunt for eggs.
Okay.
That's cool. I'm dope.
Will they do it with the Flower Guard Festival extended out until?
They always do it for the short amount of time. Usually it's right when the Flower Garden kicks off till Easter, or in this case, because it started so early, I guess we'll start to see it around the start of the month. Maybe the second week of the month, and then for a shorter time.
Let us go to a place that I only dream of going. Disneyland Paris. Jeremiah's been there. They are in the process of transforming their Disney Village. Can you tell us about the Disney Village and what's going on there, Jerem?
So the Disney Village that was built with the park, that think of DCA 1.0, where they just started changing shops into anything they could put in there, and they didn't bother changing facades or anything inside. That's pretty much what Disney Village was the past few times I've been there. Now they're making it look incredibly like Disney Springs or downtown Disney in Florida. The buildings are all very similar. Some of the new eateries and the redesigns look really nice. The biggest challenge that they're going to have is much like with Disneyland and DCA, because most guests walk from their hotels through Disney Village. Trying to shut down portions of it to do the construction will be very interesting.
It reminded me of the place whose name I can't think of, but the community Disney is creating. I don't know. As soon as I saw that picture, I'm like, oh, people are going to live here. But no.
Yes.
Disney Village. Have you been to Paris, Tony? Disneyland Paris?
No.
Would you like to go?
I have not. At some point.
Well, I've got good news for you. Someday.
Yeah? Oh, yay!
He's going to send you a all expense paid brochure.
Thank you, Gio. Story
Who's paying
living.
for a
Story living by
brochure?
Disney.
Aside from the marketing individual.
Nothing's free, man. That's why only take one. Only take one. All right. The Disney Wish will be launching in June. I am so excited. I'd be more excited if I were going on it, but that'll have
It's
to
July,
wait till
yeah.
next year. July, sorry.
Yeah,
June is when I would have been going.
Yes, I was like, you keep thinking of your dates. That's
Yes. I had a cruise booked in June. It's now been delayed until February of next year. I'm okay. It's okay. It's okay.
you need to come
but
out
they've
and do
announced
one of
that
the other cruises.
it will. I hope so. It will be having a Disney Bippity Boppity Boutique where the little kitties can get all made up, age 3 to 12. And this is what it's going to look like on the Wish, which looks a little bit different than it does on the
It's the
Fantasy.
most extravagant of the ones I've seen.
Yeah,
The one
it's
in
pretty nice.
Disneyland, the updated has more of that look to it. It's very nice.
Looks quite large for being on a cruise ship.
Yeah. One of the unique things is this is the first announcement of a Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique actually opening, because the ones in California and Florida are still closed.
I was
That's
just
a
going to
good
say,
point.
do you think this will open before Florida's and California's do?
That's a good point. I'm going to predict yes. Yeah, I made my prediction. Tony, when you see this picture, do you just think of the animation building in DCA because of that couch in the middle?
No, I think of a closet I once saw on HGTV. But yes.
Okay. Sorry, you cracked me up. All right. And let's see. There's a new lightsaber. Either one of you guys into Star Wars enough to talk about this lightsaber at all?
The Cal,
Yeah.
I can't think of his last name.
Hold on,
I had
Isn't it Kal-El from Super? Isn't it Kal-El from Super?
No,
You sure?
Neil. No, Kelston. Cal.
Okay. Talk about the lightsaber.
Yeah. It is a very unique lightsaber because it's one that was kind of like in the story. I believe he just pretty much put it together. And thank you, Gio. But it went on sale. What day did we do our walk and talk? That was
Last Friday.
Friday. It went on sale.
The 25th.
There were quite. I heard of it and saw pictures of the lines in the morning. It definitely went over very well. This was the one that was voted on by the fans last year, 2 years ago, a year and a half ago. So the fans demanded it. It is there. It is from the Jedi video game that came out last year. So
Thank you, son. Appreciate that. Very unique and redundant. We do not allow that on this show. While we were at doing our walk and talk, we also noticed some cool new Galaxy's Edge merchandise. There was a battle droid and some other stuff. So check that out. Jeremiah did a wonderful update of that on the website, laughingplace.com.
Is that what website it is?
That's the website that we're using these days. Recently updated. Hopefully you don't notice other than it's much faster. Much faster. Let's see. So I'm going to talk about something let's talk about something very pleasant and something very unpleasant. What do you want to start with, the pleasant or the unpleasant?
Are we talking about the peanut butter mac and cheese again?
No, we're not.
Okay. Let's go with unpleasant.
Let's go with unpleasant first. All right. Then we're going to jump over to Universal Studios where it has been announced.
That's not
Halloween
unpleasant.
Horror Nights.
You love Halloween Horror Nights, Doobie.
I have become a fan of Halloween, but it's still Halloween.
Yes.
Arr. So that's you can buy two and combine them into a double-sided blade. That's really cool.
Yes.
I mean, they can sell twice as many.
Nice
Halloween Horror
you guys
Nights.
talking about Gillette razors?
43 nights in 2022. 43. The last I checked, October only had 31 nights, so this must be extending well into September. Is this exciting for you guys? You guys are both Halloween Horror Nights huge fans. You've converted me last year. I was lucky enough to go with both of you last year, and I'm actually quite looking forward to going again this year. I can't believe I'm saying that. You guys want to talk about anything they've announced or the dates or anything? Tony.
They haven't really.
Well, they haven't really much announced anything other than the dates they're going to do it, and some very vague merchandise that just has a tagline on it. But other than that, we don't really know much about this event other than there's going to be 10 houses, 5 zones, and 2 live shows.
And it's going to be from September 2nd
over 43
through
nights
October
starting
31st.
September. Yeah.
And I'm hoping,
And right now, only
I did
single
it
day
last
tickets
year.
are available.
What, Jeremiah?
I'm just waiting to see which one of you is going to talk first now.
I'm hoping that, the plexiglass is gone. Last year I went in 2021, obviously, a little bit different environment than 2022. So there was still a lot of, I can't remember, were there masks inside for the cast members? I believe there were. I know there was plexiglass. So I'm hoping for the original experience this year. Yeah. So, I wonder how long it'll be till they start in August. I think as far as this crew's concerned, they could just start it in like April. Yeah.
They pretty much do. Construction is going right now for houses both in Florida and Hollywood.
I could tell you most of them are already done. Some of them, anyway.
Any you guys hoping for anything in particular this year in terms of houses? No?
I don't
hoping they don't do.
Well, I actually wouldn't mind if they brought back just one more time a Walking Dead theme, just because it's the last season of the original series. Just bring that in. But I think, hopefully we'll get that Mario and Luigi house, the Zelda
Luigi's
house
Mansion walkthrough.
Pokemon house. Oh wait, that's not. We're talking
so
about.
Here's a quote. Hailed by fans as nonstop scary awesomeness, absolutely terrifying, and downright chilling. None of those things. I did Halloween Horror Nights for the first time last year, expecting all 3 of those things. None of those things.
Where's that quote from?
From the press release Orlando put out.
Okay.
It is simply not scary. It is
But this
fun.
is my impression of
So
Doobie
much
and
fun.
Halloween Horror Nights. Oh, I like that. That was Doobie going through a house in Halloween Horror Nights.
But it was cool. It is so cool. I mean, it's immersive.
Oh.
It kind of reminds me of a Galactic Star Trooper in terms of an immersive experience, but scary, not at all. Morgan Holman says, final season of Walking Dead was this year, so I'm hoping the house comes back. Yeah, it's an unpopular opinion, but shared by one member of this panel. And as someone who never got to do it, I would love to see it too.
And
a house and a scare zone would be fun. Like do a very large version of it. But I think they may have just kind of finished off with The Walking Dead. I know when they did it, 12 years in a row, people were tired of it.
I never got to see it. I want to see some zombies.
the one year where it was every scare zone was Walking Dead and they had the big house was just
A little too much. Thank you very much. I'm glad you were here Monday at 4 p.m. doing Talk Talk Live. Tons of other live stuff. Make sure you not only subscribe, but ringy dingy the dingy dingy, ring the bell so you get notified.
Smash it.
Smash that like button for us.
Rinky dingy the dingy dingy.
Gideon,
put that one in your notes too. Thank you.
All right. And finally, let's go to the good. We had the bad. Let's go to the good. Okay. We had the scary. Now let's go to the happy. How about that? Is that better?
Sure.
Mother's Day is still a ways away, but if you want to make a reservation for the park or anywhere at the Walt Disney World Resort, you need to get on it. At the time of this article's writing, which was 7 days ago, you only had 48 days, and the window opened at 60 days. So get on it. My wife wrote this cool article giving you some suggestions for where you might want to enjoy a Mother's Day meal. And my question
was she giving reader suggestions or you suggestions?
She was giving her suggestions.
Okay.
Oh, we're not going to be at Disney World, so these are not suggestions for me to take her. I would
maybe
not
that's
be
the big
surprised.
Suggestion.
Other than Sebastian's, which wasn't open when we were living there, I would bet I've taken her to each of these places for Mother's Day before. Oh, never mind. Steakhouse 71 wasn't open either.
You took her to the former.
And neither was Trattoria Al Forno, so I take it back. And I'm sure I've taken her to Grand Floridian's Cafe before. So those are her suggestions for some cool Mother's Day locations. My question for you, to help the peeps out here, where do you think is a pretty awesome place on Disney World property to take mommy for her special day? Tony is frozen. Jeremiah.
Yep. If you're thinking breakfast, I would suggest Kona Cafe. That's always a good, fun place to go. Plus, you can go out and relax on the beach afterwards. You can enjoy a nice stroll around the lagoon. If you're talking evening, if you're going to do it, go to the best. Go to, top of the world.
I thought you were saying Victoria and Albert's. I'm like, how much do you think I like my mom?
That's a little bit out of the range. But, go to the California Grill up there, enjoy a beautiful dinner, plan it so you're there for fireworks. It's a very nice, fun time. And that's also a great time, just any type of special occasion.
Agreed. So when we lived in Southern California, we used to love to go to a character meal on Mother's Day. It's obviously something very different, but at least the ones we went to, they would theme them for the day. And I think that's a pretty cool idea, maybe a 1900 Park Fair or Chef Mickey's or something like that. And then if you want to do fine dining, I like Jico a lot. And it's a place that tends to be a little bit easier to get into since, you're running out of days. And my wife said specifically the Trattoria Al Forno, it's on the boardwalk. And in my opinion, it has the single best breakfast in all of Walt Disney World. So I would definitely recommend you check that out. This dish right here is like amazing. I mean, yeah. I think we went for breakfast there 3 times on our last trip, and we don't like to get up on vacation, but the food there is just incredible. So highly recommend that location as well. How about you, Tony?
What was that dish?
This is the Al Forno eggs.
Okay.
And it's just spectacular.
It looks good.
And the Mickey waffles here, I mean, Mickey waffles are pretty much Mickey waffles, except here. We actually asked them, why are they so good here? Oh, yeah, we use cornmeal. They are just the most incredible Mickey waffles in the world. So can't recommend it highly enough. And being on the boardwalk, it's a little bit off the beaten path, so it can be easier to get in there as well. Yes, as my son here said, best Mickey waffles ever, and he is an expert. Tony, any suggestions?
I'm still waiting for their full menu to come back, but I'm always going for Coral Reef.
Very nice. That is an underrated location, in my opinion. Yes. And if your mom prefers to go up instead, maybe Space 220. This will be the first Mother's Day they're open, but that is definitely a unique dining experience that I'd love to be able to take my mom to.
They really need to do like an Epcot dining from sea to sky.
You can do Living with the Land, the Coral Reef, and Space 220. That's a great idea. That's a great idea. Gio says his mom would do Garden Grill, maybe Ohana. What is Garden Grill? This isn't.
It's the one in the Land Pavilion.
Oh, duh.
It's the Good Turn restaurant.
Yes. That will be even better. That's a good one for a character meal. Hopefully Hugging will be back by then. That would be nice, and get some nice pictures with mom hugging the characters. So
if they bring back hugging, that means their restaurant capacity will double because they keep the top row of tables open just for them to walk around.
That's an excellent point. Yes, Mickey waffles, but especially there. I forgot to say, going back to the scary, her first years going regularly and fell in love with Tony, I believe. That's what's missing.
No, I think it was the event.
I know. Wicked. Where would you recommend someone take their wicked stepmother? Either of you guys have a thought?
Ooh, let me think about that one.
Universal.
To me, the restaurant in Italy, not Via Napoli, but the one
Golden
that replaced
Corral,
Alfredo's,
right there by Little Lake Bride.
on property. The one that replaced Alfredo's.
Yeah.
Only went once, but did not like it.
Oh, I went there before the shutdown. It was a very good meal.
I've heard it is good. I've really heard it's good. But
Gio,
we went right after Alfredo's because Alfredo's was our favorite. Very good. Artist Point with Snow White. Very well done, Gio.
I got it. Monsieur Paul, I'm a bigger man. I could be nice to that wicked stepmom, but I'm sticking her with that bill.
Well done. Well done. And I wanted to put this up before I forget. If we ever do open up some merchandise here at LP, Ringy Dingy the Dingy Dingy will be on a t-shirt, and I'll let you know, Scott. You can be the first one.
I did see somebody actually sent me a concept of the Doughboy and the Jerk show shirt that somebody was bored and did. So,
well, I think if Tub Time with Tony ever launches, Doughboy and the Jerk should be among the first guests.
Nope.
Go get the tub right now.
Nope.
Do the first episode right here.
Apparently
Actually,
the Jerk
fourth.
is vetoing that one. We have several first episodes.
Yeah, there's I think 4 now.
All right. Let's see. I think that was pretty much it for this show. Was there anything either of you guys wanted to mention regarding parks?
You missed the Disneyland Hotel.
I missed several things. I tend to edit as the show goes on.
Okay.
Do you want me to bring that up?
Kinda. I actually been following that one, so that's one I could speak on.
That's right. You have that as a director, senior, something or other of that stuff. So let's bring it up. Go for it, Tony.
I believe it's junior newsboy of all DVC content.
Do it.
So back in January 2020, permits were filed and a little piece of art was revealed that said there's a new 4th tower coming to the Disneyland Hotel. But it's replacing the Magic Kingdom lawn, which was a popular wedding venue for this new tower that also replaced old fountain show called Fantasy Waters.
That lawn area wasn't a popular wedding venue. That's not where the gazebo is.
It was it's on the wedding list, and there have been several fairy tale wedding episodes on that lawn. Because the gazebo is good for the ceremony, but that lawn was better for the reception.
Some of us are already married, so continue.
Not that we've looked into it or anything.
Walking Dead themed wedding.
It will increase DVC presence at the Disneyland Resort by over 600% because they're adding over 350 new villas in this tower.
There's only 50 now?
Yeah, there's I don't know the exact number, but it's somewhere between 40 and I heard 70 earlier, so I think they might have added or redone some rooms at the Grand Californian, but I was told before there was only 42 DVC villas at the Grand Californian.
Yeah, it's a very small area.
Yeah.
And so the vertical construction is underway. That's what
it has now gone vertical. Yes. They still haven't opened it up or really acknowledged officially in terms of Disney Vacation Club, that's what it is, just that there's a new 4th tower. But
pretty sure they did on the walls when I was there a few weeks ago.
Then they need to tell the DVC people here in Florida that that's a thing, because they're still very vague about talking about it.
Yeah, here they just call it the new tower coming to Disneyland Hotel, and you can see the concept art for it here.
Yep.
Quite beautiful as it looks. And
they say
we'll have a nice square. It's been a U there forever, so now it's just kind of now becomes a square, right?
Well, and this concept is different than the original concept, which is more of a stepped concept.
So that's on the backside. It's almost an L shape. On the backside will be that step part, according to the 2 pieces I've seen, because that was the first piece of art that was released. And I remember being bothered because it says it will blend in with the existing 3 towers, and I said, no, it doesn't.
Can you bring up my screen really quick, Doobie?
Yeah, and I will do that
Uh,
in just a minute.
Yeah, that is pretty much says DVC scan for information.
Okay. Yeah, I was at Epcot last week, and I was talking to them if they had any more information about it, and they said, I didn't even know one was coming to Disneyland Hotel.
Well, that's
Did we announce that? And I was
You ever
like, I
consider
thought
getting
so.
married in a ballroom?
I don't think there'll be ballrooms in that tower,
That's true. Good point.
unless
All
they
right,
redo the ballrooms right next to that tower, like the Sleeping Beauty Pavilion.
think of it. I've been in that ballroom. I went to Bill Justice's 90th birthday in that ballroom. The ones at the Disneyland Hotel. Nobody cares. Also went
There
to
are
a
a
cool
few.
Cinderella event. There are a few what? Ballrooms?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't was it Richard Nixon gave his checker speech one of those ballrooms, right?
I thought that was in Florida.
Or was that Florida?
the
Yeah, that's
contemporary.
contemporary.
Something big happened in the Disneyland Hotel ballroom.
Nope.
No, it did. Dang it! How do you search the Google? What was
Is that the
cool thing that
Beatles
happened
one?
to
No,
the-
the Beatles was also Florida, wasn't it?
Polynesian.
Yeah, that was definitely Florida. Are you sure?
I worked at the Disneyland Hotel for a year, so there wasn't any major things there.
No,
Not
there
even
was.
the
something
California
big
Adventure
happened at the
expansion
Disneyland
wasn't
Hotel.
even at the Disneyland Hotel. It was across the street.
You guys talk amongst yourselves. I am getting to the bottom of this. Gio, help me out here. I know there's something.
I just know there's an Autopia car in front of one of them.
No, not really. That's next to Steakhouse 55
No, it ain't. That's gone.
and the Goofy's Kitchen. Yeah, the
Wait,
main
Nixon made a
ballroom.
checker speech at the El Capitan Theater. Did not know that. Sorry. Continue. I'm still searching for the Disneyland Hotel. Something big happened there.
That was a good breakfast I had at Steakhouse 55. Too bad it's gone now. They had great steak and eggs.
Scott's comment is the best.
I got nothing, Doobie. Come on, Gio. Something happened there. I'm not making this up. Rebecca, are you out there? Gideon, help me out. Somebody. It's a friend. I'm not signing off today until we get some answers. Someone slack me. You get an answer?
He
My wife says,
Slack, Tony.
sent you a grocery
Slack.
list. That's not what I needed.
So,
All right.
Fantasy Tower, Frontier Tower, or Adventure Tower? Or the old
Bonita.
what were they called after Disney took over? There was the first phase, and then it became the Adventure Tower Frontier.
The Magic Fantasy.
That's
and
one. Yeah, thank you.
Bonita.
It was still
Yeah.
Bonita?
Yeah. It was the Bonita for the longest time,
Gio, get to Google. Help me out here.
which is funny because the Bonita Tower didn't really have much tie to it.
What about all the water features over? I know it's the Frontier Tower now, but that whole like water area, long gone, with all the waterfalls.
Yeah, the waterfalls were
Found it. I'm sorry. Keep talking until I verify.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, the waterfalls that were because they were rotting everything.
Oh, okay.
And underneath the Disneyland Hotel, there's actually a tunnel system that connects the three, so there would leak into it. And then when I was there a few years ago, when they closed it all off, they literally tore out the stuff and just dumped ground fill into it. Like they still had pathways that just ended that used to go downstairs.
I remember when the Northridge quake happened, people were talking about how it affected the Disneyland Hotel, and I saw a video, and it was just a planter sliding across the lobby. I was like, "Oh wow!"
Right, so the "I am not a crook" speech took place at Walt
Yeah.
Disney World.
Yeah.
Which is now not the checker speech. The "I am not a crook," but something happened at Disneyland Hotel ballroom. Gio's looking too. Continue
What's
talking.
the checkers speech?
You don't know your
That's
history?
the one where Richard Nixon said he wanted a poorly made burger in a drive-through setting.
Checkers was his dog. Right.
Oh.
Go back to talking about whatever you were talking about. I'm going to give this one more good Google search.
Oh, that's
When
right.
was the last Magic or Dancing Fantasy Waters show?
That's not
That
what I'm Googling.
was.
I know it was at least 97.
Yeah, I want to say it was before. I don't think it lasted into the 2000s. I know that I saw it once, and that was in the mid 90s. Like I would never go over there to do it. I used to go eat
That's
it
why it's gone.
at the what was the restaurant before it became the Trader Sam's and everything? Geppetto's? No, it wasn't Geppetto's.
Stromboli's.
Yeah.
Oh, over there,
Stromboli's.
Hooks Point was where
Hooks
Trader
Point.
Sam's is.
Yeah.
Wasn't that one of the signature restaurants there too? It was all fancy.
Yeah.
It was.
And before that was
nice,
Shipyard Inn.
except for when you got
That's
stuck
nice
in a
restaurant.
corner.
It wasn't that good, but it was nice. It was supposed
Jeremiah,
to be.
you strike
Right.
me as the guy that would hang out at the underwater arcade, though.
Oh, heck yeah. Like, when I would take the monorail to what is still the exact same spot where the monorail drops off, I would usually go to little shops down underneath because they would have like the old school Disneyland stuff that when Disneyland started moving to more of the one world, they would still have it in those shops. And then I'd go to the arcade, the old remote control boats that used to be over there.
2007
under
was
the
end of
monorail
that-
shops where I got this book in '95.
2007.
2007, last into Fantasy Waters. 2007. We
Oh.
actually have an article on our site, Into the Archives, Fantasy Waters, with the video and talking about its history.
I just couldn't remember what it was.
Written by Tony Betty, I see.
Yep, I couldn't remember what it was.
Awesome.
Have we found out what happened in some mysterious ballroom at the Disneyland Hotel?
I am giving up on that search. I must be.
We'll find it right after we're off the stream. I promise.
I
I
must be
feel like he would
misremembering.
come back on.
I must be misremembering. I'm sorry. I really thought. Not only did I think, I'm still sure.
Why did you bring up?
Wait, this is World of Color. Why did I bring a World of Color? I thought we were looking at
You can leave
Fantasy
it though. Like there's no. Actually, no. I'm on a hiatus until the 22nd.
Here's a look at the Fantasy Water show that we've been talking about here.
My how
Oh,
times
oh.
have changed.
Only song I remember is there's a Michael Jackson song in it.
And that structure stayed until
They
started
demolished
doing
it for the
construction.
hotel. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it
they
was
put
5 years
planters
later.
in there.
That was
That's
part of the
in there.
reason why some people might have been looking at that lawn. So
What are we looking at now? Can we get off that?
Trees.
This is the part above it where they have the lights
Oh,
in there.
okay.
See? Yeah.
Yes.
This little girl on someone's shoulder, she's like 40 now.
I
Okay.
think the video is that old.
This is an old video. It's from our archives,
Which could be like 2002.
which was 20 years ago. And
So
this little
you
girl
think that
was
girl's
probably-
20 sitting on somebody's shoulders?
She's not a big 20. She's a little 20. All right. Anything else you guys want to mention before we close out this dumpster fire?
It's not that bad.
It was.
No. Sorry, I got real
The fact that
sidetracked.
we ran over an hour because Doobie was dead set in finding something that happened at some mythical hotel.
Is that where they had the 50th anniversary stuff with Kelsey Grammer?
Hold on, let me give this one more shot.
That was where they had the original D23 Destination D. That was lots of fun.
No, that's not it. Dang it. All right. Well, no, let me type it a different way. You know, just because I'm searching doesn't mean you guys have to be quiet.
I'm watching the video. I'm sorry.
I'm trying to look up something.
All right. I am failing miserably. I must be so wrong. So I guess that's it, peeps. Thank you, Jeremiah.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Tony, for filling in today.
Yeah. Can you restart the video?
And thank you, all you people out there, for putting up with this nonsense. We will be back tomorrow with TBA at 4 p.m. Pacific time.
That is my favorite show on the Laughing Place Network.
And
I
Disney
donated to
Trivia,
that charity once.
and Disney Trivia Live at 7:30 p.m. And then at 10 a.m. on Wednesday, my post-op check-in with Dr. Kwan has been postponed because my surgery was canceled, but we will have Marvel time at 1 p.m. On the 31st, my son has an orthopedic appointment, and then we'll have Star Wars headlines at 1 p.m. with Mike and Rebecca.
Can you tell us what's on your grocery list there, Doobie? I mean, that sounded like a
That's personal.
By the way,
That's
tune in
personal.
Thursday when I have my gout removed off my toe. That'll be a
Bye,
stream.
everybody.